Hello everybody, it's Daniel here, bringing you a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. And there's an awful lot going on at the very start of this video. You may notice I have some snazzy new weapons here. You may have noticed this is a bit of a different looking thumbnail to the usual style I make. And you may have, of course, noticed that there was a Source Filmmaker intro at the start of this video. So all of this came from a guy by the name of SirRoborex. Thank you so much for donating this awesome shotgun to me, making a thumbnail, and making an intro. Like, seriously, that's like... I don't even know where to start with all that. Like, that's a lot of generosity right there. So thank you so much, man, for all of that. Today we're looking at some strange happenings in TF2. We're looking at strange weapons. And the certain joys that come from leveling up strange weapons in this game. So you may see that I have a strange shotgun here. And then I also have a strange wrench to go with it. And these are two new weapons skins that were added with the Tough Break update, and they're probably like my favorite skins that were actually added. Originally I just had the wrench, but after mentioning it on stream that I would like the shotgun to go with it, I actually got the shotgun to go with it, which again, thank you so much Roborex for that. And following that I decided to get civilian stat clocks in both of these, and I'm just going to level these up as new strange weapons, because my current favorite strange in the game, current thing that I like to level is just a default wrench. But I kind of like the skin that the new wrench has. And I also like the fact that there's like a tangible like stat clock that you can see on it. Like, that's just cool to have in front of you and be able to inspect it. And there's a lot of cool things about strangers in that way. So we're going to be talking about them in various different ways for this commentary. The gameplay that you're seeing, this is pretty much every single kill that I got with these two weapons in my first 30 minutes of playing with them. You may have noticed at the start that the stat clocks were at 0 for the shotgun, and they were also at 0 for the wrench, and this is just an average sort of 30-minute session, and I really mean average. Like, this isn't that great of a gameplay. I do kind of die every now and then, but that's why I call it kind of an average NG session. So there's a particular fun that comes in TF2 from just increasing numbers. It's kind of the main selling point that you see in things like the contract systems, whereby you have that badge, and you want to upgrade it from just being that simple sort of grey, and it's always grey, starter coin or badge to a fantastic Australian gold insignia of your accomplishments. There's some sort of joy that comes from that, and Strangers is like a simpler form of that. The weapon doesn't change form as you level it up, but you do get a nice little description. It's nice to see a weapon just go from simply that strange shotgun to Hale's own shotgun, and it's quite the progression indeed, because to go from to get all the way up to Hale's, you are looking at 8,500 kills. So if you think about it that way, Strangers are kind of for the long haul in TF2. Like, you want to be using these things a while, and the game sort of encompasses that fact. Like, they expect you to be using these weapons for an awfully long time. So what I try to work out from this session is how much of a sort of value proposition does Strange offer, if you think of it in terms of that progression. So if you're trying to get, say, a Hale's own weapon, I've decided to base these numbers off the end result of this video. So a slight spoiler that we're going to have, I'm only going to spoil it for the wrench so far, but in the end I get 26 kills total with this wrench, and over about 30 minutes of gameplay, that means I'll get about 52 kills every hour. So if you compare that in relation to the 8,500 needed to make a Hale's own awesome wrench, it's going to take approximately 164 hours for me to max out the wrench. So 164 hours, if we take that and convert it to, say, something like an average playtime, and we take it as, say, 20 hours a week, that's going to take about 8.2 weeks. It's in and around that. So you're getting like a good value out of that. Like, if you pick up like a strange shotgun like this for really like only like 20 cents sometimes on Marketplace, or if you just happen to get it from a random crate, you've got a lot of like kind of playtime with this thing, and it's just something fun to kind of like rack up, and it gives you something that's a long-term goal, something just to work towards, and it's fun to see that number increase and just like get those new ranks, because it's a symbol of almost status in TF2, and some people may be a bit kind of question me here. It's like, why would you say a symbol of status in TF2? It's one of those things that's kind of inherent in the game, and you see it all the time. Like, we associate and place so much value in trivial, really trivial things like hats and lime paint on scouts or the pink paint on medics. It's that sort of association that you have, and you can see it with strange weapons as well. And there is a sort of like joy in kind of like going into these things. Like, it's just something that's part of the game, really. It doesn't matter if you don't do it. Like, it's by no means necessary to own hats in this game. It's by no means necessary to level up your strangers. But there's a certain joy to it, and like you feel like you're getting like something a bit more out of the game almost when you do it. Like, I understand and kind of appreciate with like the fun side of it. It's not for everyone, but for me, it's kind of entertaining. So if you think about it like that, then strange weapons have a pretty good value proposition. Like, there's a lot that you can do with it, and it is something that you're going to be working towards for an awfully long time. Like, if you think about it, the wrench example here, like, a wrench is actually a pretty fast one to level up compared to most strangers, because your sentry is going to get kills, and that's going to count for your wrench. But other things in the game kind of complement the strange weapons too. Like, you have things like strange parts, which adds another like little bit of depth to sort of the number rising fun, just bashing people over the head with increased numbers. It's something that's like an age-old thing in games, like even MMOs. But strange parts kind of complement that as well, because you kind of keep track of specific things that you want to regard as an accomplishment. Like, suppose I really don't like cloaked spies, then I can add the strange part for that to my wrench. And then you have this particular thing that sort of like tracks your progress in the game and just adds a nice little like kind of depth and a little bit of reflection on the game. It's kind of funny if you think about it, because most of this could actually be resolved by sort of some detailed statistics in the game, because you can know that it's all being kept track of if you have weapons like strangers in it. But it's not really made available to you with that information. Like, the closest you're going to see is sort of your highest points earned per round or the highest amount of health restored. You're not going to be able to keep track of specific things like kills or assists or, again, many of the strange part mechanics. It's sort of actually a weird finicky high ground if you think about it in Valve's part. Like, we'll let you keep track of certain things for free, but if you want kills, you gotta pay. But there still is a certain joy to it, and there is, of course, like the whole economy side of things as well with strangers. If you're into that, you can try and make bank. You can hopefully do better than the economy in Greece, because apparently it's designed by the same guy. It's strange in a way, because all the positives of strangers I've listed here, you may not necessarily see as positives. Like, most of these you might just say, it's like, why would I care about that? Like, economy side of things you may not just be into, and you may not just like bigger numbers. But you've got to admit that there is a sort of joy in that sense of progression that comes with strangers. And it's a very strange thing, if you think about it that way. It's just the joy of increasing something, and I think that it works because you have very few things in TF2 that you can keep track of in that way. There isn't really a real sense of progression to the game. And I think it would be a lot different if you did have things like statistics publicly available, because then this wouldn't matter at all. Like, you'd only see skins. Strangers wouldn't be a thing if you had those statistics. It's very strange. Like, that's the only thing that you can really say in, like, kind of summation for it. But it's fun. Like, it really is. Like, a lot of people do this. I've heard many stories where it's like, if someone has a particular weapon that they like more than other weapons, they will invest and they will get that strange weapon to use. It's the sort of feeling that you have where it's like you can buy a skin for, say, a champion in League of Legends. Like, if you particularly invest in a particular thing in the game, you want to be able to celebrate that investment. And for whatever reason in TF2, that comes in the form of having a bigger number that you can increase for years to come. And on that note, that's really what I want to say, because some of these strangers can take years to level, and we're going to look at the shotgun at the end of this video, because my god, I made no progress with it. I got 3 kills over the course of this commentary. If you run the maths on that, then that's about 6 kills on average an hour to reach 8,500 kills for a Hell Zone. That is 1,416.67 hours. And if we convert that into average weeks of 20 hours playtime of NG and TF2, that's going to be 70.8 weeks. That's over a year. That's a very long time, and that's going to take forever to actually level up. So these things can last a while. Like, I can't imagine what it's like for someone going for it with a market gardener. But anyway, that's going to be it for this commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about strangers as well, because this is a discussion sort of video. I'm kind of debating the idea back and forth and just trying to rationalize why I've liked these things so much. That's really all there is to it, and I'm going to be having fun with my fall weapons until then. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to SirRoborex for all your contributions to this video, and I will see you with something new soon.